to the Week Connect for October 31st and November 1st. We are going to spend 5 weeks learning the story of Joseph. So you'll have 4 weeks learning the story of Joseph, and you'll have 1 week with the gospel. We have a 5-week month of November. So the idea for this month is, who has a plan for me? God has a plan for me. That's our big idea. And we're going to be focusing on the story of Joseph and explaining this plan with the kids based on puzzle pieces. Sorry, I can never figure my camera out. So anyways, you'll have puzzle pieces each week. You'll have 2 the first week and then 1 each consecutive week. So you will be using these puzzle pieces as your story visuals as well. So the idea is that we don't often understand or know all of God's plan right away. We won't maybe know it right away from just the first puzzle piece. But as we see the pieces starting to fit together and we look at the entire story, we can see what an amazing plan God has. And God had a plan for Joseph, and God has a plan for them. So the first lesson, we are going to be talking about Joseph's coat. You can see your 2 visuals you have this week are, you're going to be focusing on the two parts of his story, the very beginning parts of Joseph's story. So his receipt of the coat and how much his father loved him to have this made for him, and how jealous his brothers were, and then what that jealousy what happened to Joseph because of that jealousy, and that was what happened to his eventual being sold to the Egyptians. So you'll talk a lot about, in the script, there's a 3-page script for you to kind of go through. You'll talk a lot about how they would feel, how the kids would feel if they were stuck in a hole, and how the kids would feel if they received this wonderful, beautiful coat. And you'll spend some time explaining to the children this puzzle concept that we don't know all of Joseph's story yet, but we do know that God had a plan for Joseph, and we do know that God did great things with Joseph, and we know that all of the puzzle, it fits together. His whole plan, it fits together. It's just not done yet. So you have to come back next week to find out what the next puzzle piece, what the next part of Joseph's story is. And you can transition that into God's plan for them. That just as God had a plan for Joseph, we know that God has a plan for us too. A very special plan for us. So to prepare yourselves for the lesson, you'll be wanting to read Genesis chapter 37, 1 through 4, and Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 and 27. So your activity, you are going to be making coats. So these are kind of fun. You will have a paper bag for each child. I have cut, we've done this sooner, but each bag has a hole cut in the top for their head and 2 slices up the side for their arms. Now if you'd like, you're welcome to cut a slice down the center so they have actual coat. But I didn't want to do that because it kind of wrecks the integrity of this thing and they'd fall apart. So what you're going to do is basically give each child a coat, and then there's a bunch of different colored stripes. And they can do these stripes any way they want. Just have them glue stripes all over their coat. And when they're done, then you can put it over their head, and you can slice it up, or slice it first with the scissors, and then put it over their head, or just leave it the way it is. But the idea is that they get to walk out to their parents in these amazing coats, and hopefully they'll be able to share some of the story with their parents about God's plan for Joseph and God's plan for them. Your second activity, if you get to it, is everybody will have a poster board roughly cut into the shape of a coat. You're going to be affixing your puzzle pieces to this coat all month long, so they can see how this puzzle works out. And you'll just kind of retell the story that they just learned after their craft through these puzzle pieces. And then your final element of the week is your memory verse. So our memory verse for this month is Psalm 33:11. It is the plan. It's Psalm 33:11. The plan of the Lord stand firm forever. So you'll say Psalm 33:11. The plans of the Lord stand firm forever. Psalm 33:11. Or if you're standing, you can tell them that the plans of the Lord stand firm forever. However you want to do it. So work with them a little bit on their verse so they can understand that no matter what, God's plan always remains. We've been talking a lot about God's plan the last couple of months. It's the best. And now we're going to know that He has a plan for them specifically. So I hope you enjoyed this first week of November. I hope you had a wonderful Halloween if you went to Light Night or Trunk or Treat. I hope you guys had a great time, and thanks for supporting those programs. And if you have any questions, let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.